But I'm going to have to ask you this, Wombat. Your first reheat takeoff or afterburner takeoff in the Hornet. What was that like, getting that kick?
It's pretty awesome, and I never thought you'd feel it, especially at the field, because I had done like incentive rides at the ship and in a Super Hornet and things like that, and obviously a catapult's a catapult. I mean, it's the coolest roller coaster ride in the world.
Cool.
But I never thought at the field going down the runway that when you plug the blowers, you would actually feel it, and you do. I mean, it is a kick in the pants, and the story that I tell on that is, we had to, and I'm sure pilots everywhere have to, during training, we had to keep current, right? Yes. So you had to fly every so many days. And we had a rough stretch of weather, and I wasn't on the schedule, and it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm at my condo on the beach, living the single life, I'm a fighter pilot.
Yeah.
And I get a call from the squadron, and they're like, hey, you're going to fall out of currency. Could you just come in and just go up and do what we would call a 1v0. Just go up by yourself and just fly the plane around. You're not doing a mission. You're just staying current. And in my head, I'm thinking like, so you want me to hop in my car, drive to base, take a perfectly fine jet out over the ocean, bend the crap out of it and have fun, and come back and land.
What a pain.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, no, I could do that. I mean, like, I think I said yes as I was driving away in my car. So excited. So I get to the squadron and, man up the jet breaks.
Oh.
And so I talk to maintenance. I'm like, do you have any spares? And he's like, sir, we only have one spare, but I don't know if they're going to let you take it. And I'm like, well, why not? He's like, it's the air show plane. And I'm like, okay. So I call the duty desk on the radio. I'm like, hey guys, my jet's broke. They have a spare, but it's the air show plane. Can I take that? And my buddy from flight school, who's now an instructor, is sitting on duty. And he's like, let me check. And they come back and they're like, look, you could take it. He's like, but dude, be careful. And I'm like, thinking to myself, I'm like, come on, man, I'm a pilot. Like, I have 3 combat tours. Like, I'm not some nugget just out of flight school. Like, give me a little bit of respect, right?
Yes.
What I come to find out is the air show plane is the big motor Charlie. So it's single seat Charlie with the bigger motors, so more thrust, and it is completely slicked off. There's no centerline tank. There's nothing on the wings, nothing on the wingtips, no pylons on the wings. I mean, it was the slickest you could make an F-18 Charlie. And I remember taxiing this thing out. It felt light taxiing.
Really? You could tell the difference.
It was weird. And I taxi onto the runway, and if you look at where Virginia Beach is and Oceana is compared to the coastline, it is right there. And I plug the blowers and go, and I turn out over the ocean just on our normal course rules, and I almost broke Mach 1 before I hit the hotel line.
No way.
That's how fast it was. And I literally, thank God, because I probably wouldn't be talking here with any semblance of my career, saw the number. It hit 0.98 Mach in the HUD, and I pulled the power back to idle, threw the speed brakes out, reefed back on the stick just to keep myself from blowing, because I was pointed at all the hotels at their level as I'm going out. And I was like,
wow.
I flew. It's funny, I have a picture of the logbook. I flew for 32 minutes, and I was out of gas. That's all I had. It was December. I remember that. It was super cold out. I walked back. I was dripping in sweat because of how much fun I had. I mean, you could pull 7.5 Gs and just hold it in that plane because it had so much power, the thrust away. It was so much fun. And, but yeah, you absolutely felt the power, 100%.